Welcome to our playthrough of Atlantic Chase, a game of World War II Navy in which the emphasis is on the fog of war and interception. Now, this is part 4 of the second two-player scenario called First Test, yes. So in part 2, this little French task force with a battle cruiser in it hunted down the German Graf Spee with a little help from the British coordinating and sunk her. In part 2, the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau found a British convoy and absolutely ripped into it. And so now the score sits, the Germans are ahead. They have 4 victory points. But here's the thing. The British know it's the British initiative now. It's their turn to go. And they know exactly where the Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau are. And there's a contact marker and everything. So, we suspect the British want some revenge. But revenge is an expensive proposition, so we need to think first. So let us think about how this can play out. If the British can complete this convoy and this convoy here, going from Africa to Liverpool. Yeah. That'll be enough victory points to beat the Germans, assuming nothing else happens. But we can count on other things happen. So I think I also need to threaten him, especially when we got him in our sights. And so that is what the British are going to do without neglecting these convoys here. So how shall I set this up? I think first of all, we will extend in here with this task force, which will yield up an intel marker on them, which can be a bit of a nuisance. We don't want to load up a whole bunch of intel markers, so we're going to leave him like so. Let's go ahead and extend our convoy. It will get an intel marker, but we're not going to use him for coordination, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. So like this. And we'll go ahead and start the French task force heading up in that direction without actually entering the hex. We don't want another intel marker from there. Alright, so this one is going to try an engage action, and we're going to have some air support from this trajectory. And we have a contact marker, so that's going to end up being a +4 modifier on the engage table, on the 5 to 9 column. Here we go, 5 to 9, +4, here we go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That might be enough for the limited battle. It is. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to do the interruption. So let's call that the 11. Let's make sure nothing happened on the interruption table. 3. With 1, nope, did nothing, so yep, we got the battle going. And here we are on the battle board. The Germans appear in a running position. The 3 British ships coming in closing with Forbes, who can change a die roll to a 6. I have a funny feeling that's going to be used here. We will start them in smoke. Hopefully this only lasts 1 battle. The Germans are hoping that'll last 1 battle. And maybe they still have an evasive maneuvers marker, so they could use that in their breakaway if we think it's going to go more rounds. But let's get this battle. Let's get ready to rumble. Okay, first is the snafu check. And 2 dice on there. Good weather. And as usual, it's a good visibility, which means 1 more battle turn. So now all of a sudden, the need to try a breakaway becomes more urgent. Although these are the German ships are formidable. In fact, they're about as evenly matched as these two. But of course, the odds are against us. They got special powers, and if they get within torpedo range, it's going to be a mess. So we are they're in run mode. So gunnery time. Rodney is going to fire at the Gneisenau with a +1 modifier after all is said and done. And it's three die roll, taking the lowest two because of the extreme range. We may be pulling Forbes out here. Here's his shot. All right, well, that one, keep the two lowest. And even if I made that 2 a 6, hang on. Well, yeah, it would. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and make that a 6. Making this a 9, which is a hit on the Gneisenau. So, boom, okay. Next comes up the Nelson, same modifiers. This is no longer in play. And a splash, no good. Okay, this leaves the Dorschischer, who gets no modifier, so it's actually a -1. And yes, that will be a splash. Okay, so, well, the Gneisenau and the Scharnhorst do get to fire back, of course. And again, with looks like the same modifiers as the battleships had, which will be a plus. Now wait a minute now. No, +2 because these are slow battleships. So that adds a +1 modifier, a plus -1 for the smoke, and +2 for the gunnery. So get nice and all firing at the Rodney. With a 5 and a 6 and a 7 is a splash. Unfortunately, the Scharnhorst also firing at the Rodney, +2. That's a 4, 5, 6, and also a splash. So only one hit. Moving on to maneuvering. Scharnhorst and the Gneisenau stay where they are. These 3 ships come up. Germans will attempt to break away. They need a 9, straight, no modifiers, straight to D. And nothing doing. Okay, we're gonna have another round of battle. The Rodney and the Nelson go into acquiring mode. I will leave the Dorchester to pursue. Although, maybe not. And because this is the last round of battle, they're gonna go ahead. Assuming, well, we'd have to be able to mess both of those guys up. Well, well, he's not much of a contribution anyway, so this is our main guns. We're going to do that just in case something weird happens. So, on to the gunnery phase, and things have gotten a little dicier. Sorry about that. Because it's going to be just straight 2 die plus the modifiers. So it's a +1 modifier, but this time it's just 2 dice. So, and we're in acquiring mode. And so the Rodney will fire on the Gneisenau again. And this time, a 9 +1 is a 10, which is going to be trouble. For acquiring, it's going to be a severe result. Roll on that table. 3 is a hit on the superstructure. And when you hit on the what part of the superstructure, you ask? Well, we'll roll this. 7. Oh, the bridge. All right, well, it's a hit on the bridge. And I have to the Germans have to make a choice whether to go with no gunnery or stopped. And naturally, we don't want to stop because they'll just keep shooting us. So no gunnery, and this does not apply until we shoot back anyway. But moving on, the Nelson now gets to fire, and he's also going to fire at the Gneisenau on a +1. 8, 9. So once again, I think, in acquiring, yes, that's another severe result. And it is a 6, which is the superstructure once again. And on the superstructure is an 8, so not the bridge, but this time communications. And then that will cause a hit every time there's an attitude phase, which is not going to happen because there's going to be, well, unless the Dorchester manages to pull in a good shot here. He will also fire at the Gneisenau at a 0, I think? No. Actually, a -1. 10. Oh, brother, man. So, they're just pummeling away at the Gneisenau. And once again, we're going to have a severe result. Wait a minute, was that a 10? Yeah. Oh, he's in closing running, so actually it's a hit. Which is going to damage the Gneisenau, but not yet. Not until we've had our shots. They've had their shots in, that is. Right, so the Gneisenau is going to fire at the Rodney at a +2. 6, 7, 8. In running mode, unfortunately, is a splash. Boy, come on, guys. And a Scharnhorst, same thing, +2. Ooh, boxcars. That's going to be a severe result on the Rodney. Snake Eyes is a false report, no effect. Oh, brother. Boy, you guys. Okay, fair enough. This all is in effect, like so. Damaged, running. Lingering effects, this is where the the Gneisenau is going to try to repair one of these, either communications or the bridge, and I think he should repair the bridge, because if he doesn't, there's a chance that the ship may have to be scuttled. And so because of that, he's going to go with damage control, which will improve his odds of making this repair, which basically means he rolls 3 die and takes the highest 2. 10 is a repair, so that's going to come off. So now the battle is over, and everyone's breaking up. But when they disengage like this, and there's special effects on things, you have to roll for those from the disengagement table. And so with the communications here, the Gneisenau rolls 2 dice, no modifiers as far as I know. Oops, drop the dice. And 7 will repair itself. And the only thing that happened to the Gneisenau is it's damaged, and it's now a slow-moving ship. Not so good. The British obviously won that a lot. Here's the end result. Both stations, and both have contact on them. And now this is where we vie for the initiative. It is vie, let me double check that. They will vie. The Germans do have this evasive maneuver markers, which they are going to spend to get +1 on their die roll. They really need the initiative back so they can get out of here. So, and they'll get it. Okay, and what kind of weather are they going to look at when that happens? And they will be in good weather. So we're going to go ahead and finish it off there. Quite an interesting battle. The Gneisenau is slow. You almost wonder if you want to break up this task force into 2 and let the Scharnhorst speed away. We'll have to think about that. But until next time, leave your comments down if you can see interesting strategies, see any mistakes, let me know. Tell me what I ought to do, anything you feel like. So, see you next time, and thanks for watching.